this keeps up, we might have to reappoint the board again.
I was surprised that he wanted to be, just because this kid sometimes he's.
I asked last year, he said he was too busy.
We're okay? He says we're on.
We're on, we're live?
We're live? We're ready?
Early, but okay.
Okay. It's the Raynham Planning Board. I call the May 17, 2018 meeting to order. First up, a public hearing, Cornerstone Estates. We need that to be read by our clerk.
In accordance with provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 40A and 41, Section 81T and 81U, the Raynham Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Thursday, May 17, 2018, 6:05 p.m. at Raynham Veterans Memorial Town Hall, 558 South Main Street, on application for approval of a definitive subdivision plan for Cornerstone Estates, proposed 3 lots on 13.06 acres on the south side of King Street. Locust property is shown on Raynham Assessor's Map 12, Lot 239-15. Plan is prepared by Frank J. Gallagher Engineering Incorporated, Foxborough, Mass. For applicant Sean K. Cairns, Raynham, Mass. Any person wishing to be heard or interested in the proposed plan should appear at the time and place designated. Complete copy of the plan may be viewed at the Raynham Town Clerk's Office or Planning Board Office, 558 South Main Street, Raynham, during regular office hours. Raynham Planning Board, Chris Gallagher, Chairman.
Hello there.
Hi there.
And you are?
Frank Gallagher, Gallagher Engineering in Foxborough,
And you are representing?
representing Sean Carnes, who's the gentleman right there. He's the applicant
Okay.
on this project. It's Cornerstone Estates. Just the quick redundant things. It's 13 acres, and I'll just put you on the locus real quick. If you look, it's on the south side of King Street. It's about opposite King Estates subdivision. It's got legal frontage on King Street, and then it comes back and kind of tees as you go back away from King. And this shows you in a little bit more detail the locus. You can see there's wetland on the west side of the property. And the topography slopes away from King Street and kind of south and west. What we're proposing is a roadway to come in and go south and then turn and go east. We're proposing 3 buildable lots.
Okay, your roadway, to the west of it?
Yes.
It's mostly wetland?
This is all wet.
Okay.
What's in green here.
That, to the west of your roadway, is that your property too? Someone else's?
The limit of the property goes right to here.
Okay.
The frontage goes from this point, which is the corner of number 883 King Street, and 150 feet along King Street. So this parcel is not part of the development, but it comes along this line and then it widens out in here. And it
How
goes
much
to
frontage do you have on King Street?
150 feet.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
We're proposing to extend the water to serve this subdivision, and we're proposing to place actually low-pressure sewer pumps for the 3 lots that would pump up to the existing sewer main that's in King Street.
Okay.
And what we're looking for is waivers that would waive it down to basically the same roadway that we had with Tomlin Estates that's on White Street. And
that's how you've designed it?
yes,
And how wide is that?
20 feet,
20 paved.
20 feet, yes, paved. Well, let me just make sure of that, if I could.
18 feet, it shows 18 feet, right?
18 feet with shoulder. It's
With
basically the same It's the same roadway section as what we had, again, with Tomlin Estates. You can see the detail of it here. So it's 18 feet paved and then a 2-foot gravel shoulder on each side. So really roadway, it's 22 feet.
Okay.
And if you look, it slopes down away from King Street to a low point that's generally about here. There's a wetland filling that would be required to make this work, so we're going to need an order of conditions from the Conservation Commission for that. We haven't got that yet.
All right. And what kind of turnaround do you have at the end?
It's a hammerhead type turnaround.
Okay. Spoken to fire department, police department?
We haven't,
You have. Okay.
but it's, a duplicate of what we had done, again, on Tomlin Estates, and that was approved by the fire department, so we expect the same.
All right. Talk to Mr. Buckley about this?
No,
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he had any input.
no,
Okay.
we haven't met with him.
Has this gone out to niche engineering?
We decided we weren't going to review this with Nietzsche. We were going to keep it in-house for the zoo and the Conservation Commission because it's going to be a private road.
Because they're going to,
That's just what I was gonna
Conservation's
ask.
going to review it anyway.
It's gonna be a private road, it's not gonna...
It's gonna be, it's gonna be a private road. We're not gonna propose it to the town for acceptance. And the way the road is, it actually is not crowned. It's basically gonna be super elevated so that
It's all going to
It
shoot to
drains.
one side?
it all sheets to this side. And then, as you can see, we have a low point, but we're proposing a culvert to go under the road at that point.
Is it going to be
to-
open drainage where it's sheeting to?
It is, yes.
All right. Board members have any questions?
The turnaround at Tomlin Estates doesn't work very well. I've been down there a few times. You pull in the end and you turn and trying to back up. There's a hydrant there, there's, I think there's a driveway right there. It's just, I think Bob has been out there a few times also, and it's just something about it. It's, I feel like I'm gonna back up into the hydrant, or I think there's a detention area down at the end there.
There is.
It's just a lot, and I only have an 8-foot bed pickup truck, and I had a hard time maneuvering. I don't know how a fire truck or ambulance or something.
Bob, could you review that with fire department and maybe Mr. Buckley too?
That was one of my comments to make, Mr. Chairman, is the turnaround needs to be maybe large so that the fire apparatus can have a place to turn around. I mean, Tomlin Estates, although it looks great, it doesn't work very well because you have to do it like a 5-point turn in the pickup truck to get turned around the other way. I think I talked to Chris about that, Sean about that, when I was down there, during the winter, so that's the biggest concern the fire department has.
The other question, I was told that there's a old cemetery in the back there. There was stones that were laid, flattened out, so I don't know if we should ask the cemetery department if there's anything on record.
Yeah, I'd like to hear from them too. I'd like to get a letter from them.
Okay.
And again, just people that have walked through those woods before hunting or whatever they were doing, I remember seeing stones, half a dozen stones out there.
All right. Well, this is registered land, so there's been, surveys that precede this, and there's nothing that shows on the most recent survey plan for this property, but I can still check that. And as far as the turnaround, in this case, it's a little different than Tomlin, where we don't have the stilling basin that we put in at the end, and we don't have a hydrant at the end. But we also have more room here to work, and we can expand on what we have if we can find something that works better than that.
What is your schedule like with conservation?
Well, we haven't filed with them yet.
Okay.
But, you know, what our thinking was we'd open the hearing to planning board, get what feedback we could, and then file with the Conservation Commission.
The only other thing that I have is everything east of your road, everything runs on the westerly direction. I know your road, you have your road being pitched, heading uphill, correct?
Right, right.
So everything is going to be coming down behind those houses, and I know that's all, rock and ledge, and I built a couple of houses out there, 35 years ago, and we had to actually raise foundation up because I couldn't get through the ledge. So I know it's not out for Nich's review, and I just would, if we can just have Azu, I'm sure when it goes to conservation, I'm sure they're going to look at it. So whatever conservation comes up with, for their drainage, what if they're going to require additional drainage calcs, because I don't know if you did any? Did you do
I did.
some?
I did. For the culvert.
So I just want to make sure that, I don't know if you need a berm on the east side of that road, just having that 2-foot flat area. I'm just not sure if that's, going to be sufficient to hold back. You got quite a bit of water coming down that.
There is.
Coming down that hill, and what's your elevation difference from that road up to, say, the back of where your subdivision is? It's got to be at least 8 feet.
From back,
Yeah, the last lot, and you have a 3-lot subdivision, right?
Right.
What's your last lot's, right? 1, 2, 3.
33.
So, number, this one right here, this is like the top of the hill, so, 3 houses down. What's your
Oh,
elevation
okay.
difference from there
Yeah.
down?
Yeah.
That's all coming in your direction.
Yep. I submitted calculations, and I submitted a watershed plan that shows everything that comes to this point, and it was 6+ acres, if I remember right.
Flowing in that one direction,
Yeah.
so.
And so what we did, though, was we designed the culvert actually to limit the backwater that would gather behind it, and make sure we limited the elevation behind this culvert so that all the stormwater would remain on this property.
Okay.
That's all I have.
We've given you enough input for the evening, I hope.
Yes.
Okay. When would you like to come see us again?
I guess whenever the next meeting is.
June 7th?
Okay. June 7th. Yes, that'll work.
Did anybody want to speak on this?
Hi, my name's Ed Resniak, and I'm in Atlanta.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with the stormwater runoff? I'm the last house you're gonna be building, I'm right back of it, basically. And I got a stream in my backyard. I mean, I cannot walk in the backyard. Part of my grass, I put as stone, because I can't even walk now. The mosquitoes are unbelievable in here. So you can't, 5 o'clock, you can't be out there. So what are you gonna do with that?
Well,
And it's all running towards that turnaround, basically. And the only reason it's not there now is there's a giant pile of rocks in my neighbor. When they originally built that house, they bulldozed all those rocks. I don't know how they got permission to do it. But that's gonna be a turnaround.
yeah.
I
Well,
mean, it's,
Yeah, your lot is here, you're 915
yeah,
King Street.
yeah.
So the stormwater comes from your lot onto
Yeah,
this
it comes right to here. You see it coming right from this property.
Right.
And there's actually like a swamp here, because when they put this, whoever built that, built it up here and made this as a swamp. And you see ruts coming through here, and stormwater, springtime, wintertime, you can't even walk past it unless you got boots.
Bob, could you make sure that the engineer is alerted to that and looks into that?
And also, you're filling in wetlands. That whole place is wet. It's,
Well,
Yeah.
there's
The whole place is
there's wet areas, and then there are official wetlands.
but,
And they're not
when
always the
you
same.
go tag it in July, when it was a dry season, you're not seeing what you see in the springtime. fall, spring, so that's the time to do it, not now. I mean, 2 years ago, it was a dry July.
So, Frank, for June 7th meeting, we need to satisfy the fire department, conservation, and drainage with the zoo. We need to see Mr. Buckley, who as of this morning hadn't seen the plans for some reason. And then we need to have some kind of a letter from the cemetery department.
Okay.
And conservation will deal with the drainage issue through the zoo.
Okay. All right, we'll give you 30 seconds. We have to move on to a couple other things, and this hearing is going to be continued to June 7th. But if you have something quick to say to the
That's all right, we
engineer?
can wait till June 7th unless you want to go up and say something.
I can kill 30 seconds.
Okay.
All right, I live at 883 King Street. Now, I heard the road's going to be going next door to my house, which is wetland, so that means if you knock down the trees basically suck up the water, right? So
It's going to be worse.
minus the trees, I see a lot of problems with the water. Plus, we hired a botanist back in '90, and he said because of the swamp maple and spawned a turtle, he said, don't ever worry about anybody building there. But again, I'm talking 30 years ago. So that's part of my,
Also, when we did purchase the property, we were told by the Realtor that that was conservation land and nothing would ever be built on it. So that's why I didn't realize that it was okay to fill in wetland.
If they gave you that information, that's not correct information.
Even Mrs. Carey, who owned the land prior to us, said that was conservation.
Well, and it's going before conservation, and they will make a decision.
Okay.
Okay, that public hearing is continued to June 7, 2018 at 6:05.
I have to excuse myself, Mr. Chair.
Yes, okay. Next, we have a Form A, plan of land on North Main Street. Do we have anybody speaking on that? North Main Street?
Mr. Chairman, I have the municipal lease and the check and application for that for me.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I didn't hear you.
I have the MLC and the check and the application.
okay, taxes are paid up, we've got our money, we've got an application. If you could identify yourself?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Ed Brennan. I'm an attorney with an office at 1 Church Green in Taunton, and I'm representing the petitioner tonight on the separation of a lot at 68 North Main Street in Raynham. The plan's been presented to you as a Form A plan under Chapter 41, Section 81L, which provides for the division of a lot into two parcels, provided with a building on each, provided the buildings predate the adoption of zoning. Both of these buildings date back to the early 1800s. They show on maps as early as 1830, I think it is, and there's actually one in the town hall here. So the age of the building certainly is not in question. I don't think they had zoning in the 1800s. This is not a common procedure, but the town has done it at Center, I think it was Center Glass on Broadway, and I believe there was one done on White Street not that long ago.
Yep, and we got opinions from town council that said the statute applied. This existing barn, what size is it?
I don't see the, do you know the dimensions?
Roughly.
Yeah, oh, it's a full, it's the size of a full-size house. It's got to be 30
Okay.
by 60.
All right, so it's a substantial building, it's not a chicken coop or
It's
something.
not an insubstantial building, which
Yeah,
is...
so it's two large buildings on one lot, and under the statute, they can be divided.
That is
Okay.
correct.
No wetlands?
No wetlands.
Okay.
You're creating lot number 2, I guess.
That is correct. Well, actually, you're creating two lots, because you're taking one large, putting it into two, each of which is improved by a building.
Okay. Any questions from board members? Bob?
Straightforward.
It is. I make a motion that we approve a plan entitled plan of land of 68 North Main Street in Raynham, Massachusetts, prepared for Andrade Family Realty Trust, dated May 10, 2018, by Arthur F. Borden and Associates, Inc., as a plan not requiring subdivision approval. All those in favor? Aye. If I could have that plan.
Yes.
Yep. Mr. Clerk, you are authorized to sign them. Okay. Next up, a hearing on a Form A on Carver Street. I'm going to give that back to you, I guess, because you're the secretary tonight. Okay, and we have a municipal lien, no money's due. We have a check, we have a signed application.
I need to sign all these.
Yes, please.
You want more than one copy there?
Oh, yes, sorry. Okay, Mr. Brennan again?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Ed Brennan. I'm an attorney with an office at 1 Church Green in Taunton, representing the applicant. With me tonight is Mr. Borden, who's the engineer on this project. This is the Carver Street site. It's a very straightforward Form A. Each lot has the required frontage and the required area to comply with Raynham zoning ordinance. We're essentially taking one large piece, creating it into Lot 1 and Lot 2, both of which comply.
This is the kennel where the former dog officer
That's it.
resided on Carver Street.
It's kennel, I'm not sure.
Well, the dog officer
Yeah.
owned the kennel anyway.
Yep.
He's long since passed away, but
That's correct.
Do we have something on here that says no wetlands?
Mr. Borden?
I don't believe so. No, there's no wetlands on property, but no wetlands.
Okay. All right. Well, Bob, do you have any comments on this? They both seem to.
They meet the zoning requirements for an approved lot in that district, so it's pretty straightforward.
the residential A.
Residential A. It's a non-conforming use as it stands now. It's a
Yeah.
business in a residential zone.
All right. Board members have any questions?
No.
Very straightforward.
Well, I have two comments. I don't like your locus map, and I want one that I can read, and I want the plan to show that there are no wetlands. Nobody has anything else to say? Nobody out there? I make a motion we approve the plan entitled Plan of Land of 197 Carver Street in Raynham, Massachusetts, prepared for Advanced Development, Inc., dated May 10, 2018, by Arthur F. Borden and Associates, Inc., as a plan not requiring subdivision approval, and that before we endorse the plan, that it have a new locus map that we can read better, and that it say that there's no a note added that there are no wetlands.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
So, thank you very much.
Okay. We keep the paper, they take the Mylar?
I want to keep one of the Carver Street, Mr. Brennan. I'll let you take these back. And as you know, we only need the clerk to sign a Form A, so whenever those two changes are made.
What do we keep all the paper ones and give him the Mylar?
I think he should have taken them, but
I'll grab them and I'll give them to him tomorrow.
we keep the papers.
Yeah.
We need 3 papers.
They don't get any papers back. Why do they want them?
Well, if there's more than 3, they
Yeah.
can have
There's a whole
them.
bunch of them.
And the Mylar,
We got 6 papers,
okay, so 3 going
3
each
and-
way.
3 for us.
Not on the Form A. Clerk alone can do that. Mr. Brennan, again.
Yes, I'll make it quick. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, my name is Ed Brennan. I'm an attorney with an office at 1 Church Green in Taunton. I'm here tonight bringing back the drawings for the Market Basket CVS. The board may recall that you voted in favor of this probably a month or so ago, and you had a couple of conditions that you wanted changed on the plan. Specifically, it related to signage at the south end exit of the from the CVS onto the right-of-way that goes out to Broadway. Now, we've added the two signs here, which is at the exit, and those signs are the X2s, which is no exit, service vehicles only.
Thank you.
And then we added some others out front that says no through traffic.
Great.
I'm not sure that was a condition, but this one was, but just for your information, we added no through traffic here, and we added the signs requested at that point. Those were the only two conditions one condition that required a change to the plan, and that's been made. The other concern the board has was with the architectural drawings that were submitted. The board was not satisfied with primarily how it would look from Broadway. It kind of had the appearance of the back end of a warehouse. As you can see from the drawings we have resubmitted, the color of the building has changed, and the bottom view is now the elevation that you'll see from Broadway. So I agree that it's a vast improvement.
They get some advertising that they shouldn't have gone without anyway.
Yeah, I mean, so that's not a bad-looking building now, and the color scheme, so we're asking for the board to do two things tonight: to accept the revised renderings and to endorse the site plan with the change condition of adding the signage.
Mr. Brennan, at the last time you were here, there were some people from the Moolers or Market Basket who had some concerns about the building. Have they seen this and they're okay with it as well?
This came from them.
Okay.
Yeah, this came through Market Basket and CVS. Bryce Hillman, the architect on the job, is with me here tonight if you had any questions for Bryce. But this all came through from Market Basket and CVS. So they're all satisfied with it. And I think it is a good-looking building now.
Okay, and the plan we have here is the revised?
That's correct.
Okay, and it's been signed off by the town
It
clerk?
has, and the decision's been recorded.
Okay. Okay. I guess I'll take a vote. Make a motion to accept the rendering and the plan with revisions, which we have already previously accepted.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm starting.
Oh, they're ready to go. They couldn't start the site work without the site plan being approved by the board, and we wanted the renderings approved at the same time, so they're ready to get going.
Mr. Chairman, due to the fact that Maureen's been on vacation for 2 years,
It probably feels that way to you,
Do we have that on the tape?
It's on the tape.
I'm sorry, Maureen, you hear that. Due to the fact she hasn't been here for a couple of weeks, I have no invoices, no minutes, and no correspondence to you.
I would like to say that I think the temporary clerk has done a fine job, though. Okay,
Keep it up,
so
make you permanent.
is there anything else I'd like to transfer the funds? Do I need to deal with that?
I didn't see that. I guess I need to transfer these funds.
Do I need to vote on it? I don't need,
What is it?
Shamrock Realty wants to transfer $3,000 from the review fee of Tomlin Estates to Cornerstone Estates. Well, we're going to hold off on that because I don't know what's being held. Okay, no further business. Meeting is adjourned, and we will go sign some plans.
Thanks, guys.